Namaste everyone. My name is Goldie and I am the Kundalini Yoga and Meditation teacher at Soulful Fitness. And I will be sharing with you over the next few days some meditation techniques which will assist you in coming back to yourself, coming back to your source, and making use of this very opportunistic time that we find ourselves in. So on a personal level, things can be very difficult. Things can be a little bit chaotic. A lot of stuff's coming to the surface. We've got really nowhere to go. And we're faced with what it is that is present for us. So to work through this is, in a very short amount of time, is in a spiritual way so magnificent, because we can release a whole stock of these mental defilements, a whole stock of these karmas which have been waiting years, if not lifetimes, to be able to be removed, to allow us to continue to allow new energy, new life force, new opportunities to manifest, and to take us deeper into what it is that we're here to deliver and to offer into the world. So these meditations over the next few days is really connecting you back to your deepest gift, connecting you back to your deepest purpose, and connecting back to the source of reality as it is. So we find ourselves in today's society with so many different considerations of what's happening. Everyone's got their own opinion, their own truth. Even ourselves have got an opinion on someone else's opinion. And beyond all of this is a reality, or an ocean, a state of consciousness which existed before this time, exists now, and will exist in the future. It's this continuous state of reality which is always available to us. And this state of reality is what's known as a Buddha nature. So Buddha is not a person, but it's a state of a being, and the translation means the enlightened one, the awakened one. So when we say Buddha nature, we reflect that nature itself is enlightened. So life as we know it, reality as we perceive it, is in a constant state of meditation, in a constant state of purity and liberation. It's just that we, with our ego and our mind, tend to defile this state. And a nice metaphor of looking at this is like a nugget of gold. So the nugget of gold is first discovered in the ground with dirt or mental impurities and these thoughts of whatever may be conditioning densely around your mind and your karma. But once we wash away the gold, and the gold that exists inside of the karma, inside of the dirt, inside of the mental defilements, is not any less significant or valuable with or without the dirt. It's still a nugget of gold. So this seed, or this nugget of gold, exists within each of us. It is the nature of reality. So these meditation techniques are purely just to help remove the dirt, remove these impurities which may be present in today's time. So the first part that we're going to be looking at today is coming to recognize the groundedness of this natural state of awareness, this natural state of reality, this purity, or this Buddha nature, that we aren't separate from that. And the most effective way to come into this recognizing state of reality is to let the mind come to a single point of focus. So as it comes to this single point of focus, what we'll begin to recognize is everything is already changing. Everything is constantly arising to pass away. It arises again to eventually pass away. So this is the same reality that exists within the karma or the defilements in our mind. It's here for a temporary amount of time. But through consistent effort and through awareness, we can release these habit patterns and reveal what it is that is true beyond that first initial uncovering of the truth. So our point of focus that we're going to be working on is the breath. So the breath is always going to be there, even when we're not meditating on it. And it's natural. So we're not going to be changing the breath or altering the breath. We're just working with what is already available to us. And before we begin, we're going to be looking at the way that we enter into meditation. So a good way to really connect yourself into meditation is to prepare the body. And there's a 7-point part that I'll take you through that will help you come into a comfortable resting position, preparing yourself for meditation. So the first part is what you're going to be doing is sitting, or giving yourself the opportunity to ground yourself to the floor. So whether you're in a chair, connecting the soles of your feet into the floor, connecting your sitting bones into the chair, or whether you're cross-legged or with your legs out, however which way, just allow yourself to come to a position where you feel all parts of your feet, all parts of your body which are touching the earth, using gravity to really ground you into your resting posture. The next part is lengthening through the spine. So in the texts it says straight as an arrow. So you can imagine the spine lifting up, each vertebrae rising taller and taller, and you're going to be reaching up with the top of the head. And as you reach up with the top of the head, the next point is you're going to draw the chin back in towards the neck. And as you do this, you'll notice the back of the neck begins to lengthen. The next part is you're going to bring your hands either on your knees or in your lap, folding them, just letting them be comfortable, letting them be resting. So if you want to hold a mudra, you can bring the first finger and thumb together, or just let your hands rest in whatever way feels most comfortable. So the next part is you're going to bring the tongue to the roof of the mouth and rest the tongue to the back of the 2 front teeth, if that feels most comfortable. And then you're going to allow the shoulders to be relaxed, move away from the ears, lifting the chest ever so slightly. And with the chin tucked in, the eyes are going to be closed, but not fully shut. So we're not squeezing the eyes closed, but just resting the muscles around the face and resting the eyelids closed. And then from this point, we're going to begin to focus on the breath. So bring your attention to your 2 nostrils and just allowing the breath to come into the nose. And as it begins to move down the back of your throat, moving down in towards your belly, your diaphragm and your chest, you're going to keep the body as still as you can. But the breath is going to move certain parts of your body. It's going to inflate and it's going to deflate the breath. And what your attention is going to be focused on purely is watching which parts of the body rise and fall. They're going to rise as they inhale, and then they're going to fall as they exhale. Now, it's important that you're using a natural breath in this place, that you're not trying to create an experience, and that you're not trying to use the breath to lengthen or to shorten or to manipulate the nature that is already happening within you. All that we're doing is bringing ourselves to what is already present within the reality that we're experiencing or witnessing in this meditation. So you're just watching the belly, you're watching the diaphragm, and you're watching the chest inflate and deflate. Watching which parts of the breath inflate, which parts of the breath deflate the body. And in this way, you're going to continuously watch the breath for the next 10-15 minutes, just observing the breath coming in, coming in, coming in, and then the breath has stopped coming in, and then the breath is going to start coming out. coming out, and then the breath will stop coming out, and then again it will start coming back in. So there's no point within the meditation that you will allow yourself to breathe without yourself noticing. So constantly and continuously watching the breath. And as soon as you focus your attention on this point, you'll begin to notice that very quickly the mind will begin to get distracted. And as the mind is distracted, as soon as you catch it, this is the gold. This is the technique, is that you're catching the mind and then bringing it back to the breath. So at first it'll feel like a waterfall of thoughts, a waterfall of distractions, a waterfall of emotions, of sensations, taking you from one place to the next, to the next place, to the next place. We call it the monkey mind. And it's like the monkey that's drunk and it's been bit by 1,000 scorpions. So we need to still this monkey, still this mind, and keep giving it a reference point to come back to, which is our breath, which is this technique of maintaining posture and just letting the breath come in and then letting the breath come out. And with time, the waterfall will turn into like a river. So the thoughts will still be there, but they'll be slow, they'll be more in alignment, they'll be more observable, and they'll be more in a flow together. And then the next part, as we progress, is you're going to begin to notice that the mind becomes like an ocean. So the very ripples of thoughts in a great ocean are very insignificant, that you can always come back to this great expanse of stillness. And over time and with development and with continued practice, the periods between the thoughts will be lengthened, and eventually you'll have what's known as a one-pointed awareness. And this one-pointed awareness, or shamantha, is which you give yourself the opportunity to stay in that one-pointed awareness for a chosen amount of time without distraction. And this concentration in Sanskrit is known as dhyana. And dhyana, concentration, leads us to the next point of meditation. So working with this first stage, working with this breath, working in this way of just observing the natural inhalation, the natural exhalation, watching which parts of the body rise, which parts of the body fall. And tomorrow we'll move to the next point. So spend the next 10-15 minutes in this way, meditating on the natural breath. And before you rise or before you get up and continue your day or go to sleep, spend a moment reflecting, spend a moment giving thanks, having gratitude, and share the peaceful vibrations that you've experienced within yourself outwards into the world, into the universe, and allowing this loving kindness to begin to have an effect on the greater expanse of reality. So enjoy your first practice. I look forward to hearing from you. It's just about to rain, so the universe is telling me this is time to end this video, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Namaste.